just like a broken record, same old songs of accusation play. I could you to speak the truth, just look at all your failures and mistakes. And if they really knew you, there's no way they could love you anyway. Oh, but I will fight the lies.
Hello, and welcome to the Sin Help Podcast, a podcast and a lifeline for moms who are stuck in the trenches of mommyhood, bringing them encouragement through Jesus, laughter, and sisterhood.
Hood.
Hello, Christy.
Hi. I thought I would go for the echo effect and see how good my skills were.
I liked it.
Did it sound like an echo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Success.
It did indeed.
It did indeed. Yes. How's your week been?
It's a loaded question.
Yeah, I know. Never mind. As soon as I said it and looked at you, I was like, oh, never mind. Never mind. We did have a wonderful experience separately, but the same experience, but separately.
Yes.
Over the weekend.
We went to the She Speaks 2020 conference,
yes,
which
we
happened
did.
to be online.
Online. And we both watched it from the comfort of our own home.
We did.
We did.
It was more difficult to focus.
It was.
And I haven't watched all of it yet, but
I did, and I still didn't see all of it. So
yes.
Did you see the beautiful spoken word?
Oh my gosh.
It just made me laugh so hard because we talked about that recently. And in the conversation that they had afterwards, she was like, some people call it rap. Please don't. That's not what it is. And I cracked up. I was like, that was me. I was raising my hand in my bedroom, listening to her, apologizing to her, even though she couldn't hear me. Like, I'm sorry. What you just did was beautiful. And I'm the one that did it. I called it rap.
It was great. I loved it.
Anyway, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
Jenny
Jenny Allen brought the heat on the last day.
If any of you know Jenny Allen, she is very intense. If you've ever heard her speak, she's so intense.
It was really good, though. It set me on fire for sure. By the end,
she
I was
talks
just
with
crying.
that passion that makes you think, I need some of that.
Yes.
I need some of what she's got.
Yeah.
Why am I not as on fire for my passion as she is for hers? Makes me feel like a slacker a little bit.
I feel like I get impassioned like that sometimes. I think that most people are like, whoa, Amanda, tone it down.
That's
and I'm
true.
like, no, see?
That's true.
Jenny Allen can do it. You don't tell her to tone it down.
I'm the one that people are like, oh, are you talking? Can you speak a little louder, please? What was that?
No.
That's what it's like in my house anyway. Oh, did you say something? Are you talking to us?
You're like, as a matter of fact, I said it under my breath because I didn't want you to hear it.
Well, that's true most of the time also.
I know.
You know what happened during those wonderful sessions, though? I'm in my bedroom watching, doors locked so that I can't be interrupted, even though there was pounding on the door. It was, Mama! And I'm ignoring it. And the kids had asked me to turn something on the television. When I went over there to get the remote control, I noticed there was something weird about the TV. And
oh no. What?
And then I noticed there was also something weird about the Echo Dot. And oh, what's that on my furniture?
Oh no.
So we all know that I'm a Ranger fan.
Yeah.
We had a huge to-do for opening day. I made a scoreboard and Avery kept score. Yeah. And there was a yellow crayon that I had sat on the furniture piece that is in front of the TV. I don't know what to call it. So it's just, the piece of furniture that's right there in front of the TV. There was a yellow crayon that I had left there, and then we had this, black construction paper that was a scoreboard, and she would go fill in the score at the end of each inning. One of my children I took the scoreboard down. I took the pieces of paper off the wall because I knew that was asking for something, right? But I forgot about the crayon. And one of my children had drawn across the bottom of the screen of the TV, across the little frame, the case, the frame, whatever, of the TV that has the buttons on it.
Yeah.
On the top of Alexa.
Uh-huh.
And you're welcome to all of you who have Alexa talking to you right now. And across the furniture. Yellow crayon all over all of it.
Girl, that's nothing.
So, wait. Wait.
Oh, boy.
I got the Windex, cleaned off the TV, no problem. Had to scratch it with my fingernail a little bit. No biggie, whatever. Cleaned off the Echo. The furniture was another story.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, I've got the magic eraser. I know I've used that for the walls before.
Did you use it on the furniture?
And it worked. No, I did not. No, I did not. Because I know how they work.
Yeah.
So I knew, no, not using the magic eraser. Okay. I've got it. Pinterest. Totally going to look it up on Pinterest. Because this piece of furniture is one that I have redone myself.
Yeah.
I Annie Sloaned that thing.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite pieces.
Right.
So I know I'm not taking a magic eraser to this thing.
No.
So I Pinterest it. And I Pinterest, crayon on wooden furniture.
Uh-huh.
Well, the first article that I read had several different suggestions, but one that, after reading what they said about it, made complete sense to me. Complete sense. There was no doubt in my mind that it was going to work.
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
I know, right?
Keep going.
Everyone's just biting their nails.
Tell us.
Shaving cream.
Yeah.
And the article said teachers swear by it. They use it in the classrooms to clean it off
on the tables
right?
all the time.
And I know this. I've been in classrooms.
Yeah, that exact classroom.
Yes. So I know there is truth in this. It works.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. I didn't look at any other articles. I didn't read any comments because I knew this is what I'm doing. I actually have shaving cream, which, all of the other things I didn't have. So also, it was kind of the one thing that I could try.
But on painted furniture?
Yeah. 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 So, first of all, when you spray the shaving cream, it leaves a nice little trail.
Mm-hmm.
When you wipe the shaving cream, it spreads. It multiplies. It was bad.
It just gets bigger.
It just gets bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad. Because I had to spray so much of it in the first place to get all the spots that had crayon. So then when I went to start wiping, it was bad. It got in things. It went down into creases of furniture and things. And there was such a huge mess.
Mm-hmm.
There was such a huge mess. And I was like, well, I can't pour water on it. Like, I know. So I just kept wiping and I kept wiping and I kept wiping and I kept wiping. Oh, let's wipe again. Let's throw this paper towel away because it's covered in shaving cream now. And oh, look, there's still just as much there as when I started.
Beach towel.
Well,
in the moment, you're not thinking
in the
that.
moment,
Yeah.
I'm not thinking, oh, let me go get a beach towel, which, by the way, I can't find half my beach towels.
Towel.
So I was using paper towels.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I have the Selecta-Size. And
that's a hot commodity these days.
It is. I don't like to use the full sheet. I have this weird OCD thing about only taking half of a sheet. So I was using half sheets of paper towels. Why? Why was I doing this?
I don't know.
So when I finally, after several trips back and forth from the kitchen, because also why did I not bring the roll of paper towels with me?
Mm-hmm.
And I also went individually to throw each used paper towel in the trash can and then get a new one and go back. And after several trips, I finally got down to where I could see the furniture again. Right?
Oh,
There was so much. Okay. Just so we all know, shaving cream totally takes off paint from furniture.
Yeah.
Like in a major way.
Oh, God.
Don't ever go to Home Depot and buy a stripper ever again. Don't worry about sanding anything. Just use shaving cream.
Well, at least you know how you did it. I mean, you know how to fix it because you...
I did it. It's true. I wasn't really as upset about it as I could have been because I still have that paint.
Yeah.
So
Is that your turquoise piece?
no, it's gray.
Oh, yeah.
It's the gray one.
That's a good one.
So yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Y'all. And while I'm sitting there, I'm like, talk about a Pinterest fail. Like, this is the ultimate Pinterest fail. And then I was like, no. No. I didn't Pinterest fail. Pinterest failed me. I totally turned the tables on Pinterest. I was like, no. This is not something that I attempted and failed at making it look like the picture that I saw on Pinterest. That is not what happened here. This is not a Pinterest fail. This is Pinterest failing its audience by giving it false information.
Next time, Google Pledge even really works well on...
That's good to know. So, public service announcement. If any of you ever get crayon on your Annie Sloan DIY furniture pieces,
don't use shaving cream.
Don't use shaving cream. Go for the pledge. So, anyway, with my sad piece of furniture, the good thing, other than I still have that paint and I can easily fix it, is that it was a door. So I took it off. And now there's a bunch of stuff in there that the kids have been messing with, but I took the door off so it can easily be done and not, trying to not get paint on other things.
In a year when you have time to do it.
In a year when it'll
Yes.
still probably be sitting in my bedroom a year from now.
You will have put a makeshift door of like a paper sack on the,
Yeah.
a curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw something over the top of it
Yes.
so that they can't mess with the stuff. And then one day I'll finish the door. So I took it back into the bedroom with me. The next session had started. There's worship being sung. So I go back and I'm hearing the worship, and I never got super worked up because it not a big deal. I made more of a mess than they did, whatever. And I go back into worship and I'm getting back into the sessions. And if any of you don't know what the She Speaks conference is, it's for writers and speakers.
Mm-hmm.
So just putting that out there, just in case nobody knows what I'm talking about. The She Speaks conference is for writers and speakers to help us better prepare and say what God has given us to say more effectively.
Yes.
So knowing that, now that you know that.
And we speak, but do we write?
I don't know why it made me laugh like that. I don't know.
More to come later.
Huh?
Sorry.
What? I thought you were saying Mordecai. I was like, that's a different story.
Yep.
Anyway, that's a completely different story. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to really smart, successful women tell me how to do something better that I feel like in that moment, God was telling me I'm only halfway doing.
Oh, no.
Right? There may have been some conviction this weekend on my part. Why? This was the question that he posed to me. Are you ready for it?
I'm so ready.
Why are you not afraid of a Pinterest fail, but you're afraid to fail when I ask you to do something?
Ooh.
Why could you not even research this or look at the comments or look any further into the explanation of how they used the shaving cream? But when I ask you to do something, you ask me a whole bunch of questions.
Something small.
You argue with me for a while. You tell me you're asking the wrong person, God.
And he's the creator of the universe. And this Pinterest person is someone you've never met before.
Right.
And you don't even know if they're credible.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
How many things have I... Oh, cool. Let's try that. And how many times have I said, ooh,
No.
no,
Or just no.
no, nope.
No, God, I'm going to fail.
No.
And he's like, well, Christy, you don't think I know that?
Right?
I know that's a possibility.
Right?
All I'm asking for you to do is obey.
Right? Does God ever fail?
No.
No. No, he doesn't. There was a lot of conviction on my part this weekend. Man, I tell you what, I don't remember what session it was. I don't remember who was speaking. It was probably around the same time. But the verse that was thrown out was Exodus 4:12. Let me just tell you what Exodus 4:12 says. Now go. I will help you speak, and I'll teach you what to say. Are you kidding me?
And he let you take Aaron. He let you our names start
Right?
with A.
You're right, but mine doesn't start with M.
Mrs. Hollis.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. Now go. Now go. Go. Hey, Christy.
Go.
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 Go. It's really fun because it's taken you like 3 seasons of our podcast to get to this place.
I know, right?
You're like,
I know.
I
I know. You know, I think it had a lot to do with they talked about podcasts
Yeah.
several times.
Yeah.
And it was, I might sound bad saying this. Some of you might see deeper into who I am, but they referred to podcasts specifically in several different instances over the weekend as a platform.
Yeah.
And the first time I was like, oh, hey, that's what we do.
That's us. That's us.
That's what we do. And I would look at the comments to see if anyone, because there was a lot going on in those comments. Everyone was throwing out what they're working on because that's what the conference is for. So the first time they said something about podcasts, I was like, oh, I do that. And I would look at the comments to see like how many people are going to say, ooh, I have a podcast. No, nobody did. I never saw it.
Out of my mining the hashtags, I've only found 2.
Right. And then it would come back up later. And then it would come back up later. And after the 3rd or 4th time that different speakers who, by the way, recorded their sessions ahead of time, didn't have anything to do with each other. By the time it had happened like 3 or 4 times, I was like, oh, a podcast is a legitimate platform.
Duh.
We do have a platform.
I've been telling you this since day one. Lawrence, get with it. I'm not even going to call you Hollis.
I know.
Because you are forever Lawrence to me.
I know a lot of people do that.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of people do that.
That's my positive self-talk is when I canard. Get with it. Yeah.
I just slapped myself in the face. It's fine. It wakes me up. There was legitimately something that happened in my brain.
It finally clicked.
Hey, we're doing something here. Right? And everyone, okay, it's a conference for women in ministry.
Mm-hmm.
To help us further our ministry and our platform. Right? So when they ask, like, who's your audience? It's women. We're all women doing ministry. That is the purpose of this conference. Everyone, and there were 2,286 women attending this conference online. There are 2,286 women whose ministry is to women. And that's only the people that actually attended the conference. Not all the other people like us that never attended any of the other years because we didn't want to travel.
Yeah.
Or, space was sold out, so they couldn't make it, or couldn't afford it, so they didn't do it, or they didn't know about it. But for the first time, because I've always been, I've been listening to the past few weeks. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed a pattern of me saying, well, I'm afraid of heights, or nope, I wouldn't do that because this is why I'm afraid of this.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
You do out yourself on your fears, and like when you say them, you believe they're completely rational, and a lot of people are going to be like, well, obviously.
Well, yes, because they are rational. But
no.
I would never have an irrational fear. What? I'm too good for that. I'm too smart for that. What? So I've noticed that it has become something that just seems to pop up in every single episode that I say, well, I'm not doing that because of this.
It's a giant roadblock.
It's a giant, huge roadblock.
You have put it up for yourself.
I have. Although a few times I was talking about heights, and that's legitimate.
Okay.
If you fall, you will die.
You've talked about heights twice.
I know.
That's it.
I know. But it's out there. So one of the things that has been a roadblock in my mind is that women minister to women. This is an outlet that literally anyone can do. Literally. They even said that at the conference. They did multiple times.
We're really good at it. We're great at counseling each other.
We are, right? Even if it's just for us, it's worth it.
Yeah.
But for the first time, it was, honestly, it was weird, but it was when they said the number of people. Mm-hmm. 2,286 women attending the conference online. Mm-hmm. And my mind went to 2,200. Isn't that a TV show? Or is it the 1,200? Is the 1,200 a TV show? I think it is. And isn't there something in Revelation that talks about I'm totally going to get this wrong. So any Bible scholars that are listening, I apologize. But there's something in Revelation that talks about the witnesses.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a really large number.
It's
a very large number. And my thought was, that could be us. That could be this 2,286 women. We're not in Revelation today. We could be tomorrow or next week or really any time. We could be in the next 5 minutes. Nobody knows. That's the whole point. But what if we are those witnesses?
We could be the cloud of witnesses.
We could be the cloud of witnesses.
Yep.
And they're all important.
Yes.
I had a moment where suddenly the 2,286 women didn't become, well, then why are you even bothering?
That's big for you.
But it became,
we're part of something.
that woman in North Carolina can't reach the person that you can reach.
Yeah.
And it became, so are you going to do this thing?
Whoa.
It was a very heavy weekend for me.
Whoa. I am floored that you are saying these words. I'm so excited.
I know, right? Isaiah 6:8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? And who will go for us? And I said, here I am. Send me. I sang that song. I sang that song in youth group. It's a very popular, famous song. It actually took up most of the Google
Hey, Christy,
when I searched it.
are you available?
It took me Don't think that has not come into my mind. We cut that out so nobody knows what you're talking about right now. Y'all, there's a song.
She can't stand it.
And I can't because it's so haughty. It's so like, who are you?
I'm like, Christy, they're just trying to say I'm available, but that song has been written 18 times.
I know. It's
They're trying to say send me.
they're trying to say send me. And even when we had the conversation, I
Or
was like,
use me.
no, that's not what they're saying. They're saying, well, I guess I'm available. I've got some time off next week, God. I'm like, duh, he gave you that time off next week. Who are you?
So then she was like, she's like, you know, this is probably going to come back and bite me. Here it is.
I did say that, didn't I?
Here it is. Chomp.
Right in the rear, in the derriere, right there. I'll be 10 pounds lighter tomorrow. Seriously? No, that song definitely came to mind.
Oh,
and
I know.
Thought, I still don't like that song. It just, if anyone doesn't know the song, I can't even think of it, but it's I'm available. Those are the words. The song is basically the singer, the author of the song is telling God that they are available for whatever he has for them to do. And I just feel like the wording is...
But you like to choose your words.
That was a bad sound. I'm sorry.
You like to choose your words.
I do.
Really pointedly.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Because they have meaning.
Yeah.
They come across in different ways to different people.
So I get why you didn't like it.
And I did not like it. No offense to anyone on the worship team. If you are listening right now, you sang it beautifully. I just didn't particularly like the wording of that portion of the song. The rest of the song was fine. Man. But London, she sang a song that I was in tears.
Oh gosh, I know.
And I don't know if they sang it on Saturday or not, but on Friday, the song was, I'll lift my hands as high as they can go.
Mm.
And I was standing alone in my bedroom so I could actually pay attention, you know, and like in the quiet and listen to the words. And I'd never heard the song before, but I was lifting my hands up as high as they would go, singing as loud as I could. And I mean, again, it all just kind of fell back in with the, hey, you're alone in your room right now. What are you going to do when you're not alone in your room? Are you still going to lift your hands as high as they will go?
Mm.
Are you still going to sing at the top of your lungs? Are you still going to talk into that microphone as though people are hearing my word? I want to say it was Jesus Only You
By London Gatch.
by London Gatch. Yes. Had to have been. Beautiful. Beautiful worship. Seriously. That was my weekend. A lot of conviction. A lot of heaviness in, hey, what are you putting into this measure? That word kept coming back up. What are you putting into this? Are you really giving this something? Are you really giving this something for me? Or do you think it's just something that you and your friend are doing in your spare time and no one's listening?
I'm going to say that that's how you feel.
It's true, because every time during the conference, they would say something about your audience and how can you involve your audience and pull them in and make them feel like they're a part of what's going on. I was like, well, I don't know, because I'm in a room having a conversation with Amanda. That's who I'm talking to. So definitely there has been a huge shift in my perspective, not only of this podcast, but of what a platform actually is.
Yeah.
Lisa Turkers told a story. She told a lot of really amazing stories.
Yeah.
That made me laugh hysterically. I was like, that will be very similar, I'm sure, to a story that is in my future. She went on the Holy Land tour, probably.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
They were filming somewhere for a study of some kind. I don't remember where she was.
Are you talking about the high place?
Yes, that's the
Oh.
story I'm talking about.
Yes. So good.
The high place.
Keep going.
And I don't really remember what story in the Bible she was referring to, but God was saying that to destroy the high places.
Right. And she was expecting them to be like an altar.
Yes, she was expecting it to be this huge altar. I think she said she expected to see
Like,
a deer stand looking thing that was this huge
with rubies
structure
and,
with
jewels
jewels and stuff around. But there was only one left. And when they got there, she was really excited the whole time, knowing that she was going to get to go see this because she had this expectation of what it was going to look like. And when they got there, it just looked like a stage.
Yeah.
And she asked the tour guide, what is a high place? He's like, it's a platform. It's a stage.
It's a platform. It's a stage. It's a pulpit.
Yes. Right?
Yeah.
But God had told them to tear down the high place because they had turned it into something that was not spreading the truth of God.
Yeah.
It was a self-serving purpose, and it was not glorifying God. And he had told them to destroy them all, which might be why there's only one left.
Yeah.
Maybe they actually did something that he told them to. Don't know. That was the year that they were on board with it. Not the year that they were rebelling. Anyway, those Israelites.
It's like the beginning of the pandemic versus now.
Right.
Yeah.
But throughout from that story, first of all, and then just the way that everyone on the She Speaks team that taught a breakout session or a main session, the way that they talked about a platform, that word changed definitions in my mind because they weren't talking about a stage.
No.
They were talking about your platform that God has given you to speak, whether it's writing, whether it's public speaking, or a blog, or a book, or a podcast, which they named several times as a form of a platform. My mind was blown.
That's why it's so important for all of us to use our voices when we are given the chance to use our voices,
Yes.
because you could be the voice that gets through.
Yes.
You could be the voice that God's like, you're the person that can speak to this person, and only you can do it.
Someone defined a calling as your service to God. And that was just very simple, very basic. Your service to God.
Yeah.
Your like ministry. It's ministry. It's ministry to people. It doesn't matter what that calling is. It's how you are serving God.
Yeah.
And it's so basic. It's not this high, lofty, the sparrow lit on my shoulder and a light shone down from above and I had a calling placed on my life.
Yeah.
It's just how he is leading me to serve him.
Yeah.
He's leading you to serve him.
Yes. He absolutely is.
And it looks differently for everyone. It could be the same. You and I are both on this podcast, but our calling is very different.
Yeah.
Even though we're both doing it in the same way, but our calling is still very different. Your passions are very different than my passions.
Yeah. That's something that they talked about also, is like your what is your theme for like, they were talking about writing a book, for instance, or being a speaker. Like, what is the thing that comes up all the time in your journaling or in your prayer time, or the story that you tell a lot? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, we have completely different.
We do.
This is what you're supposed to speak on. This is what you're supposed to speak on. Like, I think, I mean, that was per book or per talk.
Right.
But I was just like, wow, we really do. We have something completely different that we bring, even though the vehicle's the same.
Right. Something that I have learned over the past few years is that just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean that you shouldn't.
Yes.
Just because someone else has a Bible study for women in your church, that's a small church, doesn't mean that you can't do one also. You might pick a different book.
True.
You might have yours on a different night that allows other people to go that can't go to the other one.
Or maybe someone would feel more comfortable coming to yours than they would going to theirs, not because they're different, they're like not cool, but just because they feel more comfortable with you. Yes.
You can serve in a ministry that someone else also wants to serve in.
Yes. Crazy.
And you can both do it, and you can do it equally.
Yes.
Someone else's calling doesn't take away from yours.
No. Yes. Oh my gosh.
It doesn't negate yours. And that's something that I struggle with. I really do. I really do. Because I am the one, and I have been my whole life, you know, taking turns at the water fountain. Oh, you go ahead. I'm not as thirsty as you are. Or, you know, taking your turn on the jungle gym or monkey bars or whatever. And like, oh no, you go ahead. I'm still working out the anxiety over the blisters I'm going to have on my hands after recess. Like I always was like, oh no, you go ahead. Was really bad at sports because of that. Really, really bad. They put me in the outfield. I saw a really funny meme that was like where you place kids in Little League, and where I was, I don't remember what it said, but it was so me. Like the one that spaced out and is going to pick flowers. I was like, that was totally me. How did they know? And a ball would come my way, and the other girl, like I could see her hustle, and I'm like, oh, okay, you go ahead. And I've been that way in ministry.
Yeah.
If someone else showed interest in that area of ministry, I just let them do it. Like, oh, okay. Well, maybe that's not what God had for me. Or, Christy, maybe it's something that we were supposed to partner on and do together, and it could have been better. Maybe you both should have done it, and it could have grown that ministry because both of you had the same thing going on.
Yup.
Yeah. It's just something that I think God has been slowly yet monotonously working on with me over the last few years. It's like someone else's calling does not negate yours.
Right.
Just because there is another group of moms that have a podcast doesn't mean that we can't have a podcast for moms.
Yeah.
The more people that there are doing it, the more people will be reached.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
The more people that are doing it, the more people will be reached. And that is the point. That's the whole point. So why am I afraid to fail for God when He's already won the battle? He's told me what He wants me to do. I don't know, but I am. I heard a quote. If it's just you and God, you're in the majority. That's not exactly what was said, but that's what is coming to my mind right now. But it was like, you have the numbers on your side. Like the other side, the other army is not bigger. Goliath is not bigger. Their army doesn't have more people. Even if it's just you and God.
Well, yeah.
The numbers are on your side.
I mean, Elisha, army of chariots on fire and angels. Like,
right?
He let him see that they were not outnumbered, that they, in fact, were the bigger one. You're always, if you're doing it for the Lord, you're always you're fighting from a place of victory.
Yes.
The victory is already yours.
The victory is already yours.
So why are you afraid?
The fear of the battle should not exist.
Mm-mm.
Because while many of us do not read Revelation, we do know that the battle has been won.
Yes.
There should not be a fear of failure because He has already won.
Yes.
If He is calling you to it, why would you think that you would fail? God will not fail. He goes out before I even know that there is a war, and He brings back the head of my enemy and calls it my victory.
Yeah. If you've got God as your defender, you don't need anything else.
No. If He is calling you to something, you're not going to fail. If He's calling you to something and you allow Him to work,
right,
you are not going to fail. If you try to do it on your own, it might not go smoothly.
He's not going to ask you to do something just so that you can be humiliated.
We've joked that there's one person listening.
But that's enough.
But that's enough. Because what if that one person that is reached, if someone else were doing this and that one person that was reached is my daughter, that's an impact.
Yeah.
That's a significant impact. That one person is a significant impact.
So what is it that God has called you to do that you have maybe canceled yourself out for? You've said, no, so-and-so's already doing it. No, Christy and Amanda are doing that already. He's not going to use me. What is it that you've been saying no to?
And y'all, believe me, I have said no to a lot of things. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if we lived in biblical times and Jesus Christ Himself were asking you to do something? I mean, yes, situations were different. They don't know the end of the story. But could you imagine having the knowledge that we now have, being face to face with Jesus and Him asking you, hey, follow me and be fishers of men. It's a lot of camping. It's a lot of walking. Are we going to have camels? No. And we can't bring anything. can't bring anything. So I can't bring my coffee with me. That's something that when we get to the next town, we're just going to say, hey, you got some coffee? Can you brew some up for me?
These are not great walking shoes.
Yeah.
I don't like to sweat.
Can I go change into that other outfit that's more comfortable before I just leave everything behind?
What's the bathroom situation?
Right. Is there toilet paper or is this like a COVID thing and it's all gone?
Are you sure?
Right? We're walking where? People are going to think we're crazy. Right?
I'm not bold enough. You don't want me. You want that guy over there.
You want someone who's going to chop someone's ear off for threatening you. And I'm going to hide behind you.
You want her, not me.
Right.
But she's already walking with you.
Right. So you're good.
So you don't need me.
Good.
Because you've already called her.
Yeah. You
That's
called
her calling.
She answered you.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're set.
Yeah.
You've got all the help you need.
You know how heavy I am? There's no way that water is going to hold me. These are just things that I would say.
Right? Yeah. I'm not so great at camping at night. I don't like all the noises around me. Is there a tent or are we like roughing it under the stars?
Oh, we're not going to have, there's not even you don't even have a cushion?
No.
Just
Is
rocks?
there like a screened in shelter?
I don't do great with scorpions.
No. That's a lot of sand and I really don't like sand.
Donkeys. I don't know.
Would anyone actually say those things though? Because that's what we're doing.
I know.
That's what we're doing. When God calls us to something and we answer with, oh, you want one of those extroverts. I mean, you created them. You know the difference between us. You want the extrovert to go talk to that person.
That's not me.
You didn't create me as an extrovert. Do you
My
know
voice
how much
doesn't
energy
sound
that's
like
going to
all
take?
of the new wave of
Right?
worship leaders. I don't.
Man, if we were face to face with God, there is no way we would come up with all of those excuses. We would be like, me? Really?
And isn't that what we're always asking for? Anyway?
When do I get to go?
We're asking for this divine encounter and for it to just really know that God has spoken to me and he has picked me. And now if he himself is asking me to do this, then there's no way that he's going to make a way. He's going to make a way. It's going to happen.
God will
But
make
the thing is he's doing it.
He is doing it.
It's the still small voice.
Let's leave the cloth
it's not
in the
a
grass
thunder.
and see if it's dry and the grass is wet. And let's do it like 6 times just to make sure. And then I'll say yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't have a God of the Old Testament. We have a God of the New Testament.
Yeah.
He speaks to us directly, one-on-one.
Veil torn.
Yes. So there is my 2 cents and what I feel the need to put out into the world this week.
And brava.
Almost spit out my coffee all over your room.
Oh, thank you guys for listening. We love you. Follow us on social medias. Check us out on YouTube at Send Help Podcast. And check out our website, thesendhelppodcast.com. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
We love you.